tough, choosing which pistols I like to shoot more than others. And today, that's gonna be one of those tough days. The all-new Canik TTI Combat. This is a Taran Tactical Innovations Canik pistol. This pistol has a comp on the barrel here, a little bit of porting there, I noticed in the barrel as well. Removable comp. Pick rail on the front, you see I've mounted a Streamlight TLR1 HL. And then up here on the top is the mecanik Optic. You're going to inquire, how do we get this? Well, Canik sent us this pistol for review. Today, I'm going to give you guys my unbiased opinion of these pistols. Up until this point though, Canik has made some absolutely fantastic pistols that we've always been a fan of. And on top of that, their pistols a lot of times kind of get this bad mantra because they're so budget friendly, when in general they're not budget pistols. You know, the SFX Rival is a sweet pistol, the Mete MC9 is a sweet pistol, the Elite Combat was a sweet pistol for us. All of those pistols, you know, we bought and we filmed reviews on and loved all of them, and they're huge fan favorites ultimately. But today I'm going to go through the case candy here we got. I'm going to load up this pistol with some of our Fort Scott munitions, tumble upon impact 9mm ammo. This stuff right here you can get on Fort Scott's website. Go on there, use the code HFS10, save a few bucks to get yourself some good defensive ammo. Let's cover what's inside the case from Canik. This pistol obviously was done in collaboration with Taran Tactical. Taran Tactical, if you're not familiar, they really made their name, obviously from Taran himself being an excellent shooter, and on top of that, a world champion. After that stuff though, they do tons of different mods on shotguns and pistols and rifles and tons of different stuff out there. And of course, if you've seen the John Wick movies, you've seen a lot of Taran Tactical products in there. You're gonna get 2 magazines with this pistol. You're gonna get an 18-round magazine, and then you're gonna get another one that has an extended Taran Tactical base pad on here, which I believe is a 21-round magazine. You're gonna get interchangeable back straps on this thing. With those interchangeable back straps you get, they're colored just like the slide itself. And then we have an optic cover here for the mecanik Optic. You get a little wrench there, some different plates. This optic itself is actually an RMR style plate, so you can put an RMR on here if you want with the plate. The plate seems like it's machined well. It is a metal plate, and I think if you had an RMR, you may actually get a co-witness, because with this one, I don't get a co-witness, not a big deal, but with the sights, they're good steel or metal sights, green fiber optic front, and a serrated rear sight that has a good, like, let's say, overall notch in there. It's not too wide and it's not too tight. I think it's perfect for shooting fast and accurately. Down here in the bottom of the case, you take out the top, and you actually get this challenge coin in here. Now, a lot of people, they're really gonna be excited about this. For me, I frankly don't give a shit. But that's just me. It's like, what am I gonna do with this thing? Am I gonna trade it with people like, you know, law enforcement, military? You have your challenge coin, you pull it out at the bar or something like that, and maybe your buddy has to buy you a drink because he doesn't have his. You do get an additional spring with the pistol. With that additional spring that you're gonna get, it looks like it's for lower power ammunition, which is good to see because some comps will not run your lower power ammo. You do get a cleaning rod, a little tool there like a punch, and then a bore brush. And then you also get a mag loader, which usually for me, I don't use those. And then in addition to that, there's also a holster, which today I'm just using my Blackhawk Omnivore. And gear-wise, if you guys are seeing that stuff, if you go on our website, which is linked in the description, you go to that website, everything I'm wearing is gonna be on our website with links. Some of them are affiliate links to make us a few bucks and help out the channel. But other than that, there's a lot of them on there that are not, and we just want to help you guys find what you're looking for. So let me load up a couple of these magazines here. We'll get it into shooting this. I still got to zero it. I have not shot this thing at all. So you guys are going to see those first shots. In addition to that, you're going to see me zero it. You notice today, the weather in the great state of Ohio is absolutely beautiful. It's a balmy 34 degrees. It's raining, it's cloudy. And frankly, it looks like crap, but you know, it's pretty normal for us. Fort Scott stuff, they give you this little amendment card. It has the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. If you guys are big supporters of the Constitution, which you should be, that First Amendment is protected by the Second Amendment. So let's load up some ammunition here. All right, let's walk up here on the target. For me, usually when I zero a red dot, I'll start off at like 10 yards. I can usually do it freehand when I'm getting like a rough zero. If I really want to refine that zero, then I'll actually, you know, let's say bag the pistol or whatever it is. But generally speaking, to get a rough zero for a pistol I'm using on the range, just get up there about 10 yards, I'll knock it out. But the grip textures on this Canik TTI Combat are probably one of the finer features of it. In fact, it is really, really aggressive, and I love it. I think, man, I'd be hard pressed to say that I felt a better feeling polymer frame gun. I mean, this thing feels really good. I love how aggressive it is. Some folks don't like pistols that are that aggressive because like, oh, it's gonna chafe my skin, it's gonna hurt my little baby back bitch hands. Well, that's not the case for me. I like it when my pistols have good grip textures because it helps under recoil especially. So the trigger on here is absolutely fantastic. It's better than my PDP Pro, I'll tell you that. We'll go into that trigger and I'll actually cover that like close detail, but let's get this thing zeroed. So I'm going to come right just a touch. You guys want to see that real quick? 10 yards. You saw how fast I shot. That's 21 rounds in about a fist-sized group. So obviously I'm going to come right just a touch because I was aiming at the valve here in the heart itself. And for me, that's a fine enough point of aim I can get it. And you're noticing too that you're not seeing any serious deviations with the exception of that shot. They're all A-zone, shooting it quick. This thing is legit. Pretty sweet shooting pistol. Compensator wise, we'll evaluate that some more today. I think it's definitely doing something. I can't sit here and tell you though it's the most effective comp I've shot in some of the other pistols we've shot so far this year, but it's shooting really good. This pistol and the trigger and how it feels in the hand is pretty freaking sweet. On the pistol itself, you do have an ambi slide stop slide release that you can get on there. It's good, it's textured, it's not too much, especially if you're somebody that gets that good thumbs high grip on the pistol. And it's not gonna, you're not gonna be holding it down. I had fine lockback for myself here just shooting a pistol, which I've kind of, let's say, worked out of shooting some of the Walther style pistols and these Caniks. But on here too, you see it has really good aggressive slide serrations. They're not too aggressive, they're honed though, and they're good. And you see the lightning cuts, the spiral fluted barrel on this pistol. And that stuff all is really nice. This thing is really well done. I haven't covered it yet, but this pistol comes in at just shy of $1,000, which almost guarantees you're gonna see street prices probably closer to like $800, $900. Pretty hard to beat that. This Mecanik Optic, this thing seems pretty good so far. I mean, glass quality and all that stuff is good. Buttons on there, it's got a huge window. It's like an SRO ultimately. Top load battery. Not real huge fan of how the adjustments work, how you gotta use like a little Allen key, but that is what it is. Once you get it zeroed, you shouldn't be messing with it too much anyway. This pistol is pretty impressive. The trigger on Canik pistols is one of their finest parts, absolutely. It's flat-faced, it's very wide, which is really nice. You get that good pad engagement there from your trigger finger. And then that magazine release button on there is also serrated and textured. It feels great. I mean, magwell on here, which will get us some reloads and things like that. This pistol is probably gonna be, right now, I've only shot probably about 40 rounds to this thing, and I would sit here and tell you that at this very second, I can tell you this is gonna be probably one of the best purchases on the market for its price range. Today, one of the biggest things with this TTI Combat is I wanna cover is how the comp or the ports here actually work and how effective are they in comparison to the other Caniks I've shot, like the Rival or even like a Walther PDP, because the PDPs are very similar to these, and I can say like, on my PDP Pro, putting that Parker Mountain machine comp on there, I mean, we're talking, that felt like probably a good 25% reduction. I don't know that I'm feeling that high of a reduction with this one. I'm feeling more like 10 to 15%. With the TTI Combat, and most of the Canik pistols, you do have a loaded chamber indicator, which is on the top of the pistol there that actually sticks up. So, and you can, in addition to that, you can also see that. And it's good. It's good to see that kind of stuff. It makes it easier on a newer shooter to be able to do that. You know, of course, you can come over to a press check and figure that out as well. And then you do have a striker cocked indicator back there, so when it's back, you can actually see it has a red mark. Yeah, threw one out of the A zone on that, which is probably my first shot. But for the most part, the comp feels pretty good. I can definitely tell you that the comp is driving that muzzle down under recoil. I can really feel that. I just can't sit here and tell you that the comp is as effective as like the Parker Mountain one that I have on my PDP Pro, or like on that Shadow Systems XR920P. And I think what you see with that, and the reason that is because the overall volume of that chamber on there and that comp itself is smaller. I'd say it's probably maybe an 1/8 inch smaller than what those are. And that's gonna be that difference in porting out that gas. It's like when you shoot a big rifle break, if you get omnidirectional muzzle brakes on a rifle, those small holes don't do nearly as much as a big 3-chamber break. Can't sit here and say this thing doesn't shoot good. This Canik TTI Combat is a fantastic pistol to shoot. Big fan of it right now. A little over 100 rounds now through the pistol, and it's shooting really, really well. I mean, I'll show you guys a target because there's people that are like, oh, you don't show your target. Well, it's because I don't have anything to prove. It's YouTube, guys. It's time to have fun sometimes. Threw one on the A-zone there, got one out here in that. You know, what you're seeing me, we're shooting fast. This is my zeroing down here. The thing just shoots really, really well, and I really like how well this thing seems to shoot. It's good, and the dot, I'm pretty darn impressed actually by the optic on here. I got it, and it came with the pistol, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna see, this thing seems like it's gonna be trash. Not trash. I've shot a lot of trash red dots from some very reputable manufacturers, and I didn't like them. This thing just doesn't feel it. It feels good, and the overall package, pretty hard to beat. When we did the Shadow Systems MR920P, I checked to see if that pistol would shoot if I limp wristed it, because sometimes Glocks won't shoot limp wristed, especially if they're comped. Let's see if this thing will do it. So you're seeing right here, all I got on there is basically my ring finger, middle finger, and then trigger finger, thumb, and about no wrist pressure. No issues there. 124 grain Spear Lawman now through this pistol, and it seems to be okay. Got about 5 more rounds in the pistol and another mag in the belt. I'll put us into a reload, and I'll cover how that mag well feels. Magwell feels excellent. Probably one of the best factory magwells on the market, especially in its price range. Definitely competes with that Walther PDP magwell. It's a good metal magwell on there. It's good size. It seems like it's fit well. I'm not noticing any kind of edges on the times I put that magazine in the gun, and it just seems good. I don't see any issues. And this is a Canik Rival mag that we're using with it now. So I used a couple Canik Rival mags that we had. Those are working good. Trigger is just phenomenal. So let me load up a few more magazines. I'm gonna walk you guys through that trigger pull, and then ultimately I'll close this thing out for you. We have the Canik SFX Rival here with us. In addition to that, obviously all new TTI Combat. I took the light off of it so you guys can see what it recoils like without that light. And what these two pistols are is they are nearly identical in overall length. Grip sizes are the same. The grip textures on the TTI Combat are way better than what you find on the regular SFX Rival. Just like I said, it's a touch longer here on that. Not a whole lot though, not something that's, it's a 1/4 of an inch. I mean, we're not talking it's a 1/2 inch or an inch longer. So there's not gonna be a huge difference. But I wanted to see if you guys can see it on camera. We'll throw that line in there, and you guys will be able to see if you're seeing a little bit of a difference in recoil and seeing if that comp is ultimately doing anything. I'll let you guys be the judge. All right, we're gonna walk through the trigger pull now. With this one, we like to do this on the range because it helps give you, or give myself too, a better feel of how that trigger ultimately performs under live fire. So we'll walk through it. So you see there's clean take up, okay? You got your take up there. No grit, no mush or anything like that whatsoever in there. And then at a wall, let's see, is there any creep at the wall? Nope. Just a crisp wall that breaks really nicely. You'll see it breaks there at 90 degrees as well. We'll reset it now. Very audible reset that actually kicks my finger back out. I mean, really Really, really darn good trigger. Best on the market for a striker fire gun. Definitely, it has to be. Like I said, I love my PDP Pro triggers. They're really good. You know, second best or just about as good, but this thing is phenomenal. What I'll tell you too is I took my gloves off because it's super cold today and crappy, but man, that grip feels awesome in the back of my palm there. It really bites into there. When I clamp down on the pistol, it just feels good. I mean, this pistol, you can shoot it fast, you can shoot it slow, you can shoot it accurately. I don't think that there's really much bad to say about this pistol. You know, maybe if you're somebody that doesn't like the color scheme, sure. I like the color scheme, but you know, if you were to take me back to before we ever shot Canik pistols, I would have said, I'm not shooting those things. Like, they're ridiculous, I'm not doing it. But after shooting them, having bought some, owned a few now, and shooting this thing, if you guys don't at least try these at the price point that they are, you're missing out. You really are. And for most of them, you know, the cheap Mete SFTs and all those, just buy one and try it. It's absolutely fantastic. And this thing here, easily worth the price tag that it fetches. And it's not going to be $1,000 out the door. It's going to be less than that. You know, the comp, I won't sit here and tell you it's the most effective comp on the market. I can tell you it does do something. I can feel it. No doubt shooting it after that SFX Rival, I can feel that difference in how that comp ultimately helps keep that muzzle down. And it just shoots really good. This thing is a complete package pistol. Get it out of the box. It doesn't need anything. You know, you could buy Glocks. There's people that buy Shadow Systems pistols and they change the triggers out and things like that. And for some folks, that's what they want to do. This thing, you could buy this and not change a darn thing. And this is probably one of the nicest pistols on the market for the money. But if you guys don't agree with us, drop us a comment and tell us why you don't agree with us. Otherwise, like, comment, and subscribe.